Your queen's Mother's Day was all about the beginning of the hatch, the emergence of new adult worker bees, all daughters of your queen. Now your population of bees is beginning to grow. What has been 4 frames of bees for the first 3 weeks is now 5, 6, 7, 8. We are quantifying the population in our inspected hive as 8 frames of bees. Since emerging bees are opening up cells for a second round of eggs, your queen still has room to lay. But if all of your comb is drawn out, it's time to consider adding a second box.
Today we're working the same hive we did last Friday. Last Friday the hive weighed 49 pounds. Today it weighs 41. So we've had a significant loss in weight, which would be not unexpected with a drop in the dandelion population significantly, because we have every time the dandelions start going away, we have what we call the post dirt. As you can see, we set the cover in back, we set the inner cover in front, so you can see the bees are already starting to go. Now last week we put in a frame right here to replace the feeder. We had 7 frames of brood and 7 frames of bees in here, and we will want to check this frame and see if it's drawn out. So we're going to pull this frame right here, and we had brood all over that. Now turn that so Chris can see it on your side. Look it right in here. See all the drones? So she made a patch of drones that was not there last week. And we've got some capped brood being capped here, and we probably got eggs and larvae around. See all the honey on that frame? Remember, this is the frame that was against the feeder. Okay, so it's got room, it got eggs in there.
Yep.
Yep. So look at here, look at all the pollen. The size of the pollen balls they're bringing in is very, very good. See, I'm making it run. So we'll sit that on the outside. Remember, we don't need more than 1 frame out. Just have a frame out so you got plenty of room to work. Now this is the new frame we put in. We're gonna hopefully see that it's mostly drawn out. And look at how beautiful they drew it out. And they've just a little bit left to do in the corners, which is very expected. And what do we see inside that frame? Eggs?
Not seeing eggs yet.
Not expecting to see a lot of honey in the corners, and the reason for that is that we had a drop in nectar flow. But look at here. So on that frame there was those drones drawn out. Roll that over, Larry. Look at right there. There's a slight indentation. They are curving that in because the drones are on the other side. Okay, so we're looking at that. Don't see the queen. Yep, there is.
Oh,
right
yeah,
down
there is.
here.
Yep, there sure is. Look at that.
She's laying all over that thing.
Yep.
So she should be close by, so put that back in there.
You want to get this cleaned
Yeah,
out?
I'll hold this. Okay. We got a little burr comb on the inside there. Larry's going to take that out. These eggs are at a 45-degree angle, which means they're in day 2. So she laid there not too long ago, and this side is got larvae in it. So remember, we know which way it went because we got a little mark at the corner. Put it back in there the same way.
And you will now mark that one as drawn out?
We'll mark it as drawn out when we're done. Now, if you look right here, you can see they're filling it up with pollen, which tells you the nectar flow is probably slowed down. We don't see a lot of fresh nectar in there, but they're starting to pack the pollen in, the last of the dandelion going away. What do we got here? There's a little queen cup, nothing in it. I don't see any additional loading up of stores in here, so We got more pollen and less nectar. Okay, smoke them a little bit next time.
Okay.
So they're not making it easy for us to stick our hands in there, so we'll give them a little puff of smoke to make it easy for us to put our hands in there. All larvae and eggs in there, but they're dropping a lot of pollen in the middle here, which is a sign that they're pretty crowded, and we need to put the second box on, which we anticipated this time. So they'll use that all up without a problem. Now I would expect to find the queen, because that other frame was all laid out, to find it on a frame that is hatched out really well. Remember Saturday when we were going through the hives at the county extension, we were starting to see young bees appear, and you can see these were solid frames of brood. This is all hatched out. And again, they're dumping pollen about as fast as she can lay.
I'm going to talk about the pattern of hatch.
So the hatch, remember, she lays in the middle. It kind of does a swirl effect. And so what we have is, in fact, we got a couple right here that are getting ready to hatch. And the outside rim, there's another one, are getting ready to hatch out, and that'll be all hatched out. Now they'll pack the pollen, and later on they'll move it around. Won't be a big deal. Remember, the queen usually starts laying, and then she kind of just keeps making a circle. So the middle of the frame is usually your oldest brood. Now, this is all capped brood. And I don't see anything hatching there either. And again, mostly capped brood here. Don't be surprised if you don't see a queen. We're getting a lot of bees in here. You can see these frames are pretty covered in bees. And you got the field bees out working. Excellent.
You did not find a queen in this box last week.
Nope, we didn't.
Okay.
She likes to hide. And look at that. Can't ask for a prettier frame of bees. Now you can tell we've got all 8 frames in here are covered in bees. So we definitely need to have that second box on. And this is the strongest hive of the 12 we got here. So it's definitely in need of a second box, because that hatch, the rest of it is going to make it all super crowded, and then that's when you start having the issues with swarm cells. And they're not making very many cups, so I don't think they're even close to that. We'll give them that box, and that'll calm them down really nice. Well, look at that. Look at all the honey.
Oh, there she is.
There she is. Yeah.
There she is. Nice long, look at how long she is. She's really long for a carnolin. And you'll notice the carnolins are not fat. The Italians tend to be fatter. Now remember, you want to keep that frame over the box, because you know where she is now. We're carefully going to put this back in. And let me hold it while you take the burr comb out. Okay, we got her over there, and we'll just hold it right here while Larry takes a little bit of burr comb out. If you take the burr comb out, then you don't kill a lot of bees when you go put the frame back in. They just put a little bit there. This frame will all turn to honey as this brood hatches out. Leave a little room for the bees to walk along this side. We're gonna now take this and slide it over. Watch how he does it. Move them all at once. Remember, last lesson Jim taught us, push the frames together, then when you get ready to move, you don't hurt anything. Okay? All right, we're gonna slip that last frame in there. We're gonna mark our frame with 21 on it. Okay, now we're ready to put our second box on. Larry's gonna grab that. Now what we wanna do is smoke a little bit. Got a little spot of burnt comb here we'll take off so we don't hurt anything. Remember, our goal is not to reduce the number of bees, but to increase it. So here we go, we're gonna set that on there. We're going to center the frames in the box. Not gonna leave any room between frames and let the bees come up here and do their thing. Next week, you'll be in for a real surprise to watch how they work. Okay, now Larry will center them. Look at our inner cover now. Hardly a bee on it. Makes it real easy for us to put it back on there. And just kind of rotate it around. Get off there so we don't hurt you. Now remember, we're going to update our status sheet on this as I slowly crawl upright. And what we're going to do is mark it as we'll leave it as 7 frames of brood because we had a lot of hatch out and a lot of pollen. But we got 8 frames of bees now, probably 8 plus. And we have a full frame of pollen in here if you added it all up between the ones. So we're in good shape. So instead of having 8 frames of brood, they've replaced some of that brood with pollen. We're good to go. We'll see what that pollen looks like next week, which will be one of the things we check. And then we'll be looking to see how fast they move up there and start drawing those frames in the top box.